I believe it was a former Liverpool player that said you can't win anything with kids, and yet Jurgen Klopp has taken his team of children and beaten Chelsea's £1 billion army in the Carabao Cup final. They have taken the trophy home, and today we're going to be diving into how they did it. If you are new to the channel, please make sure that you subscribe, you like the video, and you turn on those notifications so you don't miss anything coming up. But now, let's get into it. You know, money can buy you a lot in football. It can buy you a stadium, it can buy you a manager, it can buy you a club. But what it can't buy you is the heart, soul and determination of a side that's willing to do anything for their manager. That comes from coaching, it comes from great man management, it comes from a squad willing to do anything for the ethos and the club and the DNA that they represent. And that's what Liverpool have in abundance, and it's something that I think Chelsea still severely lack. Liverpool beat Chelsea by 1-0 after extra time through their captain Virgil van Dijk, but the game itself was actually really entertaining. 0-0 of course because it went to extra time, but I thought that both sides really went for it. Both sides had goals disallowed, albeit correct ones. I thought they were rightly disallowed, especially Liverpool's. I thought Liverpool's was a disallowed goal. Endo was offside, he was interfering with play, but the game itself was fantastic. It was only in extra time when it required the players to dig deeper. It required the players to stand up and be counted, to be able to give everything on the pitch, and that's when Chelsea faltered. They shrunk, they shriveled, they couldn't manage to pick themselves up yet again to go and get that winner. Whenever anything went against them, they failed to really step up to the plate. They failed to step up to the mark, and that's something that Liverpool managed to do. Their youngsters really epitomised everything the club stood for, everything Jurgen Klopp stands for. And I thought it was a brilliant performance from them, especially towards the latter stages of extra time. But as for the first 90 minutes, I thought both sides really did give everything towards what was a very, very good final. We're going to pick out a couple of players. I thought Petrovic was fantastic, 10 saves in the game. I thought he stopped a number of great chances. Kelleher was brilliant. 9 saves, both goalkeepers doing a fantastic job. But for me, one of the major players of the match was Wataru Endo. I thought he was a metronome for this Liverpool side, a real calming influence throughout the entirety of the game, being able to give this Liverpool side a good amount of experience. He played like a 30-year-old, and that's not a criticism. With the amount of young players throughout that Liverpool team, I thought that his level-headedness was really good. It was a fantastic performance. 11 out of his 17 ground duels were won. He was aggressive when he needed to be, and he didn't allow Chelsea to be comfortable at all. And that's one thing that I will give Liverpool a lot of credit for. Chelsea were never comfortable. Yes, that's down to their lack of experience, their lack of game management, but overall Liverpool were a sensational outfit from start to finish, and that's playing in that Jurgen Klopp way. I thought that Malo Gusto did a very good job supporting Cole Palmer when he needed to. I thought that Conor Gallagher was a very good presser when he needed to. Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez slowly, and I do mean very, very slowly, starting to build up a partnership. Ben Chilwell got down this left-hand side, and we saw a number of tactics that we highlighted in our preview show. Cole Palmer looking for Nicholas Jackson, who was trying to run him beyond, but the problem was the ball was never there. It was always hitting Van Dijk and Konate. Liverpool dominated a lot of the possession, but they really failed to get through that Chelsea midfield block. But when they did, Luis Diaz always had an out onto Malo Gusto, and it became a really good, interesting battle. Harvey Elliott, replacing Mohamed Salah, really didn't manage to get into the game all too much, really attempting to beat Ben Chilwell, getting a number of times on the inside and out, but always recycling the ball, never managing to find a good pass. And that's down to, I think, the quite poor play of Cody Gakpo, who I thought could have done a little bit more. Gravenberch comes on, and then Liverpool have to change again, and from then Liverpool start to waver in the match. Chelsea got the upper hand and really needed to take their moment into ascendancy, but they weren't able to, and it really fell through for them. It fell flat. Let's have a look at the average positions, because I was amazed by what happened through this. This is Chelsea, so they end up playing a very, very compact line. That's why Liverpool were not able to get through. This is what we mentioned, pushing that back line a little bit further up. Jackson dropping a little bit deeper, ready to spin in beyond when they get that counter-attacking momentum. but it didn't give them anything because of Kelleher's great performance. Let's have a look at Liverpool. Now, Liverpool were quite spread out. Cody Gakpo and the likes of Luis Diaz moving out on this left-hand side. Robertson supporting them when he needs to. But when we put the substitutes on the pitch, just look at this. Watch this. They actually become more attacking with the youngsters, willing to go forwards, and that's down to Wataru Endo. His ability to really dictate play and dictate possession through his aggressiveness, not on the ball, but his aggressiveness off the ball, making sure that Chelsea never had a moment. That gave Liverpool's midfield, their youngsters, the chance to express themselves. And I thought Endo did a fantastic job of making sure that Liverpool were able to keep going. It was a brilliant, brilliant performance from everyone involved, and it was a thoroughly entertaining match. But it was Liverpool that came out on top. Liverpool were the ones that stood up and were counted. 54% possession, we expected them to have more of the ball, but they had more shots. They had more shots on target, and this is a side, let's not forget, that missed, let's just take a look at this, that missed out on Alisson, Matip, Trent, Szoboszlai, Jota, Jones, Nunez, Salah. It's ridiculous. I know Chelsea have injuries as well, but that's so many players that Liverpool were missing, and they still managed to get over the line. Chelsea missed every single big chance that they created, but the bigger thing for me is when it hit extra time. So this was the second half. Chelsea started to get a little bit more momentum. They equaled out the possession. They had more shots on target, and then it's time to dig deep. Then it's time to go into extra time, and look what happens. Liverpool dominate, Chelsea fall off. Liverpool with 59%, 3 shots, 2 shots on target. They start to take more of a foothold. Chelsea back off. Chelsea get scared. As I said earlier, they shrank. They weren't able to stand up, but Liverpool's youngsters were. And that is the key point. That's because they had belief from their manager in them, allowing them to progress and go forwards. Van Dijk standing up with a captain's-like performance. And Chelsea end up faltering. Chelsea end up failing, and Liverpool are the ones who win out. And for all the money spent, for all the things that went against Liverpool, in the end, heart wins out over cold, hard cash. And there's something nice about that. Before we end, I just want to take a look at the winning goal, and just to highlight the differences between the two clubs. This is around about the 27th minute in extra time. There's 3 minutes left on the clock before it's all over and goes to penalties. One team is stagnant, one team is not ready. Here are Chelsea defending their box, but one player that is not ready is one at the front post, as Mykhailo Mudryk. He is not ready to be taking this header on. He's not ready to be really aggressively attacking it. Your side are 3 minutes away from losing the game, possibly. And if you do not defend this properly, you will be culpable. And he is in the end. Virgil van Dijk is running through to the front post. No player marks him. No player follows him. And this is the moment right here. Mudryk is not ready to be able to take the ball. Van Dijk is in the air, ready, he's running, he's got the momentum, he's got the power, he's got the strength. Mudryk is from a standing point, and we all know that when you're standing and you're stood still, you don't have that momentum. You will not have the same power as someone that is running onto the ball. He's not running onto the ball. Van Dijk is, and Van Dijk gets the clearing header. Look at him making that contact right there. Right there. This is the moment here that Van Dijk takes the opportunity. He takes that moment. The captain taking the match by the scruff of the neck and deciding, I'm going to make the change. I'm going to make this happen. A brilliant, brilliant header from Van Dijk. A great ball in. And Mudryk was left sleeping. It goes into the back of the net, and it just sinks for Chelsea. Everything. I want to take a look at another angle here just for the moment. Look at Mudryk here. His position is all wrong. His body is just not in the correct way. And when we actually take a look in a moment, he actually ducks his head to head the ball away. And when you want your player to stand up and be counted, that's not good enough. The ball is up in the air, they're looking towards it, but Mudryk is just not ready. He doesn't look ready. He looks concerned. He doesn't look aggressive. He doesn't look like he's going to be winning the ball. Van Dijk is here, he's present, he's ready to take that header. And if we just look at another image, we can see that Mudryk ducks his head. Probably one of the worst things you can possibly do. Closing your eyes, duck your head down, hope that you hit the ball, instead of being aggressive, instead of looking towards it, instead of making sure that you make contact. One player wanted it more, and that is the difference. minute, fine margins. But that made the difference, and that changed the game. And that is what won Liverpool the game. That difference. The willingness to do what it takes. The willingness to do what your manager wanted. In the end, heart beat money. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you think I'm being a little bit harsh on Chelsea? Do you think Liverpool deserved to walk away with the trophy? Let me know your thoughts. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you ever so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something new. And I hope to see you in the next one. But until then, my friends, take care.